Welcome to the Echo Tips podcast.
Here's a sneak peek into what we're going to cover in this week's episode of the Echo Tips podcast.
Here are some synonyms for calm: peaceful, quiet, composed, cool, serene, slow, smooth.
Well, hello, and welcome to the Echo Tips podcast. It's good to have you returning listeners, and we'd like to welcome you new listeners as well. And we'll give you a little crash course on what the show is all about, you new listeners, here in just a second. But as you could tell probably from our prelude today, we're going to be delving back into an oldie but a goodie from Season 1 and Season 2 about words. It's actually one of the things people use the Amazon Echo for the most, and sometimes you may not even think about how you could use it that way. Definitions, spelling, rhyming, synonyms, antonyms, just a wide variety of ways you can use your Amazon Echo to pull those words. I remember way back when you used to have to go buy maybe at a bookstore or Radio Shack, which used to be a thing here in the States, and you could get these little pocket, they looked like pocket calculators, but they had dictionaries and spelling and things in them, and you would type in the word that you were trying to look up or different things and find out that information. But now via your Amazon Echo, and this is one of the earliest features of the Amazon Echo, you can simply just yell across the room while you're writing a letter or trying to type out an email or run a Google search, and you can find out how that word is spelled. Or, like I said, a variety of other things. If you're maybe into poetry and rhyming and different things like that, you can do that as well. And it's only going to boggle your mind even further when we get into the AI innovations and the ability to generate stuff, little cute little poems or statements and things like that. So it's pretty cool. All right, so before we delve into that in any sort of depth, I'd like to first welcome our new listeners. Welcome, new listeners, to the Echo Tips podcast. This is Season 7, which is to say we have a back catalog of 6 seasons and over 300 episodes that you can go back and check all about the Amazon Echo. Now, you'll find that our episodes are weekly. We generally release new episodes on Wednesdays and or Thursdays, and we generally try to keep them somewhere between, I'd say, 10 to 25 minutes, something like that. 10 to 20 minutes, something like that, in that range. In the early days, these early episodes, like the one I'm going to be talking about today, actually I'm joining 2 episodes from the early days, used to be closer to 5 to 15 minutes, but we've kind of got them longer these days, down to 10 to 25 minutes. And every once in a while, we will have, and these are marked, by the way, omnibus episodes, or we even had one last week, which was a super omnibus. And so those can run up to, 30 minutes to 45 minutes. But we generally take a single topic and we wedge everything together that we've learned over the years, or at least a good chunk of everything, maybe not everything, but a good chunk of everything we've covered, maybe with alarms, with reminders. We had an omnibus episode. AI, we had an original omnibus episode, and then we just had last week our super omnibus episode where we wedged even more stuff in about our AI beta trials this past spring and of 2024. And what that may mean for the upcoming legit release that we hear is going to come in this fall. So it's a little bit of a primer episode. Feel free to go back and check out that episode. We generally cover all sorts of things, really anything related to the Amazon Echo. You new listeners, anything, it could be a skill, could be a game, could be a new feature, could be a security-related thing, could be music, could be things for kids, for parents, for caregivers, for seniors, sometimes work environments, and using these echoes in like a assisted living home environment. Just a plethora. Oh, home automation. That's a big one that I use. I love my home automation to control my thermostat in the house. So we've covered all sorts of different things over the years, but we're open to hearing suggestions for other items as well. And we'll mention at the tail end of the show how you can do that as well. Okay, so before we delve into our material about wordsmithing and how the Amazon Echo can help you with that, we're going to go to a brief message about our podcast, as always, and then we will be right back.
This episode is brought to you by New Vision at Goodwill Industries of the Valleys, and also made possible in part by a grant from the Virginia Board for the Blind and Vision Impaired. New Vision is a program of Goodwill that provides information services and assistive technology training to individuals with visual impairments. Goodwill Industries of the Valleys is a nonprofit organization serving Central, Southwest, and Southside Virginia. Goodwill's mission is to empower individuals, strengthen families, and inspire communities. And we thank you for listening. These shows are provided for educational purposes. This podcast may not be retransmitted, sold, or reproduced without written permission from New Vision.
Well, hello again, and welcome back to the show. As I said, we're going to be dealing with wordsmithing this week, and so we're going to delve right into our content. If you have an Amazon Echo in hearing distance of me, it'll be a good time to shut its ears off. That way I'm not tripping up your Echo at home while doing these demonstrations. And it's amazing, those things can hear you almost all the way across the house, so it could be even in another room. It might hear you. Now, if you're listening to this podcast on your Amazon Echo, as a general rule, you shouldn't have any problems. In the early days, that wasn't the case. It would hear itself talking, but generally in the recent years, it's been pretty good with that. Every once in a while, there's a bug, but it seems to be working pretty well. Okay, so hopefully everybody's had a chance to do this. These are some oldies but goodies that I pulled out of Season 1 and Season 2, and I thought these are just one of the things people use the Amazon Echo the most for, is things related to spelling, words, definitions, understanding things, and very similar things in that context. Okay, so let's delve right in. One I think we probably have all used it for is definitions. Alexa, define autodidact.
An autodidact is a self-taught individual who learns about a particular subject through self-study. They are knowledgeable about their area of expertise due to their own research and study. Autodidacts are individuals who have chosen to educate themselves rather than receiving formal education from a school or institution.
Wow, I feel like the definitions got a lot longer since the last time I did that. Okay, well, very good. Man, we're like borderlining on a full-on thesaurus answer there. Okay, all right, so that was pretty cool. All right, well, now I will highlight, you can't always ask Wikipedia if we're talking about proper nouns or something. Okay, so let's move on to, spelling's always good. Alexa, how do you spell serendipity? That's always kind of a tough one.
Serendipity is spelled S-E-R-E-N-D-I-P-I-T-Y.
Okay, very good. Here's a good one. Alexa, what's a synonym for calm?
Here are some synonyms for calm: peaceful, quiet, composed, cool, serene, slow, smooth.
Okay, very good. Let's see. Alexa, what is an antonym for hate?
Since hate has multiple meanings, it also has multiple antonyms, including love, kindness, sympathy, approve, love, and like. Okay,
well, there you go. Okay. Let's say I was writing a poem or some sort of quip where I wanted something to rhyme. Let's see. Roses are red, violets are blue. Words ends with blue. Alexa, what's a word that rhymes with blue?
Barbecue, bamboo, accrue, cuckoo, slew, and crew are some words that rhyme with blue. However, it is important to note that the word blue itself has multiple pronunciations, and depending on the pronunciation, some words may not rhyme with it. For instance, the word flu does not rhyme with blue when pronounced as flow but rhymes with blue when pronounced as foe. Additionally, the word chew also rhymes with blue, despite being spelled differently.
Wow, that was a longer explanation than I anticipated. Okay, so there you go. Like flu would rhyme, barbecue, roses are red, violets are blue. Guess what? I have the flu too. Oh, two rhymes. Anyway, you get the idea. All right. Roses are red, violets are blue. Guess what? I ate barbecue. I don't know if that really means anything. Okay, anyhow, if you're into poetry or something like that, this may mean something, or you're writing musical lyrics, so that's pretty cool. All right, let's see. So we've done definitions, we've done some rudimentary spelling. Now, this is one that I often encounter, and that is proper nouns. like person, places, or things, names that and that's usually where I have trouble. Now, the trick with this is we all know many names, if not almost every name under the sun, has multiple spellings. That's pretty common. So you're not going to get probably the whole listing, and it's just going to probably guess at whatever would be statistically probably the most common it would think of. But anyway, let's just give it a try. So let's take a president of Russia, Vladimir. How do you spell Vladimir? Alexa, how do you spell Vladimir?
Vladimir is spelled Vladimir.
I don't know why she whispered. She went into whisper mode. It's interesting. I do have her situated on the desk here between different items, maybe just the acoustics. Okay, but anyway, we just introduced you guys to whisper mode, by the way. Anyway, now here's another one. Sometimes it's a phrase or it could be a whole name, and so you might want to zero in more likely on the proper spelling of that. And the cool thing is, let's just take an example. Alexa, how do you spell Vladimir Putin?
Vladimir Putin is spelled Vladimir space Putin.
Okay, so I find that handy because it actually tells you where the space is. Sometimes I wonder, too, about words that might be hyphenated or something like that, and or phrases that may be hyphenated, so I might often ask about that, too. Now, it's probably not always going to be perfect, and we know languages are often very diverse in the way things are structured. But yeah, definitely very cool. So antonyms, synonyms, spelling, definitions, words that rhyme with different things, proper nouns. So really kind of cool. And I think as we get into the AI arena, it'll even be awesomer because the ability to generate some content and different things like that, I think you'll really find that pretty impressive. At least I did when in the AI beta, so that's pretty cool. I'm probably more likely to zero in on maybe the exact proper spelling or certain contextual things. Like there might be different ways to spell Vladimir, but there's only one way to spell Vladimir Putin's name. So the ability for the AI probably to localize based on which Vladimir you're talking about, that would probably contribute to getting accurate spelling for a particular person's name or a particular medication or particular thing or a particular place. You get the idea based on the context awareness that the AI can bring to things. Okay, well, that was just a real quick troubleshooting. I hope you guys really enjoyed that. It's really kind of handy and really kind of fun. If you have any thoughts or suggestions for a future episode, by all means, you can reach out to us at info@goodwillvalleys.com and just put in the subject line you're trying to reach Dave of the Echo Tips podcast or the New Vision program. And you can also reach out to us on Facebook or Twitter at Goodwill, or now known as X, Twitter or X. You can also reach out to us at Goodwill Industries of the Valleys and just mention us there, and that way it goes to us. But also in the message, earmark that it's for the Echo Tips podcast or the New Vision program, and that way, again, it will find its way to me. Well, until next time, it's time to turn the ears back on your Amazon Echo. Start practicing the many, many things that you've learned. I'm David Ward for the New Vision program, and as always, we do thank you for listening.
This episode is brought to you by New Vision at Goodwill Industries of the Valleys, and also made possible in part by a grant from the Virginia Board for the Blind and Vision Impaired. New Vision is a program of Goodwill that provides information services and assistive technology training to individuals with visual impairments. Goodwill Industries of the Valleys is a nonprofit organization serving Central, Southwest, and Southside Virginia. Goodwill's mission is to empower individuals, strengthen families, and inspire communities. And we thank you for listening. These shows are provided for educational purposes. This podcast may not be retransmitted, sold, or reproduced without written permission from New Vision.